From the record books, not very many society or group of community have produced the number of influential persons in leadership, commerce, business, entrepreneur, governance, and more.
Of course, in several areas. I mean, just a couple of weeks back, we had two very major inaugural lectures, both of them on finance and economics. You know, Professor Nwokoma just gave his inaugural lecture, and his treatise was on the impact of money to development and how that money has helped in either developing or underdeveloping Nigeria. All right, so that's a major one. We also have had quite a number of our people. Professor Lai Olurode, for example, was one of the national commissioners of INEC in the last election. As you are aware, you know, most people talk about Professor Jega, who was the chairman, but there were also other national directors of INEC. He's back here as a professor of sociology, a very distinguished professor of sociology. And that's one of the key people that was able to give to us an election that is considered one of the best in the history of Nigeria. So there are individuals like that within this university, both past and in the present. I mean, if you want to talk about some of those who have passed through this climb, you know, you'll talk about people like Professor Akin Adeshola, former Vice Chancellor and Professor of Medicine. You'll talk about Professor Shiyobola Tomori, the guru of economics in Nigeria. There are quite a number of them. You know, I mean, Professor Ransom Kuti was also on the staff of this university before he was made the longest serving Minister of Health. So the immediate past Minister of Health at some point, Professor Lambo, was also a member of staff of the University of Lagos. Professor Walter Ofonagoro was a professor of history here and the Minister of Information. Quite a number of people from this university have been at several levels of federal government and state appointments, both as ministers or as commissioners or special advisors or as director generals of federal government parastatals. Even in my own little way, I was also the DG of a federal government parastatal for 6 years on a leave of absence from the university. So this university has produced very many great people who have impacted very positively on the Nigerian economy and the Nigerian society.
If all of this is happening and there is no mechanisms to support information dissemination, then that would be equivalent to winking in the dark.
You won't be there. You won't be there. You won't be here. You won't be here.
Why?
No.
You know, like
I'll be in heaven. Me and J. Gabriel will be flying.
UNILAG Radio is one clear example of getting information management systems right.
It is the first radio station in Nigeria, the very, very first, and it's been there for some 15 years now. And after that, UNILAG TV is coming on board too. There are, of course, regulations as to how much they can disseminate. You understand? Because there are rules by the NCC that gave the license. I mean, it cannot be a commercial radio station. It must have content that is of educational value, geared especially for the students and staff of the University of Lagos. But because we also have a distance learning institute, which is the institute that caters for those that are non-residential students. So they also take their lectures because by distance learning, and they have to now, some of those lectures are on UNILAG radio, and they must listen at particular hours to those lectures. And so that's why the coverage sometimes would go like within 30-kilometer radius of the University of Lagos. And our DLI is doing very well. You know, it's got about 15,000 students at the moment.
It is important to note that gender discrimination is not a factor in this university community. For instance, for the sub-degree new entrant enrollment for 2014-2015 session, 1,017 males representing 47.84% and 1,109 females representing 52.16% were successful.
At the last convocation ceremony, we graduated almost 50-50%. 50% of undergraduates and 50% of postgraduates. So gradually, the emphasis at the University of Lagos is shifting more and more into the area of core research and postgraduate studies rather than the undergraduate studies. Of course, we need the undergraduate students because they are the ones that graduate and then come into the postgraduate studies. But the emphasis is beginning to shift. We are now at about 50-50%. In a few more years, the balance will tilt more to the postgraduate studies. And quite a number of our staff candidates who are doing their PhDs are also exposed to like a year abroad or 2 years in some instances. And those who don't even undertake that, immediately after getting their PhDs, are supported to go for postdoctoral research work in other places. So we are not just like having homegrown academics, but academics that can stand their own in different parts of the world.